Hi, I'm Chaluk and I'm the 1999 Carlton Alexander Scholar. The Carlton Alexander Scholarship and the GraceKennedy Foundation has been extremely impactful on my life. And so if I was supposed to think about the impact that the scholarship would have had on me, I'd have to put it in two separate categories. Firstly, financially. So financially, when I applied for the scholarship, I was applying to go to UTech to study accounting at the time. And my mom would have just gone to the bank the day before to withdraw our entire savings, right? The family's entire savings to be able to afford the first semester tuition. And I remember us praying, not knowing exactly how we're going to be able to pay for the 4 years, but my mom was very clear that I had to get a university education. And the following day, we received a call. It was from Pat Robinson at the time, that we were successful and would have been awarded the Carlton Alexander Scholarship. And this changed my life because I did not have to worry about where tuition was coming from. And so financially, it was a major contribution to the person I am today. And then you think about the motivation that you have from being selected as a Carlton Alexander Scholar. So you know of Carlton Alexander and what he has done for Jamaica, what he did for Jamaica College, and as a proud Jamaica College old boy, it was something that I wore with pride. And so it gave me a lot of motivation to ensure that I excelled and that I did well in school. And it was very clear to me that resit and failure was not an option because I had a strong heritage to maintain, the heritage of Carlton Alexander and the heritage of Jamaica College. And so for me, it was definitely, the wind within my wings to ensure that I maintain that heritage. Yes, I grew up in a small community in rural St. Andrew called Mavisbad. This is on the way to Blue Mountain Peak. So nice, cool community with my grandmother and grandfather until I was about 11 when I went to high school. And so I would have attended primary school in Gardentown, St. Martin de Porres Primary. And then I would have moved on to live with my mom and my stepdad when I passed for my common entrance for Jamaica College, the Jamaica College of Old Hope Road. And that was where I would have spent the remainder of my teenage into adulthood. And my mom is a very hardworking woman, typical hardworking Jamaican woman that believe in hard work and putting in the work and ensuring that she can do for her children as best as she can and do what is necessary for us. And so she provided for us as best as she could. And she instilled in us, the importance of hard work, the importance of dedication, the importance of honesty, integrity. And these are some of the things that are hallmarks for how I operate and how I live right now. And so that filtered into, I guess, my current family environment where I'm married with 2 children, to lovely wife Jillian, and I have a 10-year-old son, now 11, and a 14-year-old daughter, Josiah, son Caleb. How did I end up in this career? And that's very interesting because I'd say to you that the scholarship that I got, the Carlton Alexander Scholarship, was to go to UTech to study accounting. And as at UTech studying accounting, and by the second year, I decided that I'd want to switch to HR. And this was because HR was a up-and-coming field at the time, and I do enjoy, working with people. Even though I'm very comfortable with numbers, I enjoy working with people, and so I made a switch to study HR and international business. And so I did that at university, and then subsequently I would have joined GraceKennedy at JIC at the time as an underwriting associate. Because I guess at that point in time, you leave university, you're just trying to find the best job that is available at the time. And so I would have joined as an underwriting associate And then about a year later, there was an opening for an HR officer. And I applied and was successful and was able to transition into HR. And it was pretty exciting because one, I was working in GraceKennedy, and GraceKennedy would have helped me to get my education, my tertiary education. And then two, I'm also now in an area where I studied, because you would have studied HR and now you're actually getting an opportunity to practice HR. And so that was the excitement for me at that point in time. I spent a couple of years in HR, about 3 years between recruitment and training and development. And then my CEO at the time, Mrs. Grace Burnett, one of my mentors, who I also love dearly, spoke to me and asked me if I'd be interested in actually doing operations. And so I took the plunge, and at that point in time I was actually studying for my master's administration. So once again it was a good mix because it allowed me to once again practice what I was studying. And so I transitioned into operations, and I would have spent a couple of years into operations and would have grown from strength to strength, moving from operations officer to assistant manager to operations manager, then to assistant general manager, and then in 2019 I was promoted to my current role as general manager for GK Insurance. So it has been a pretty rewarding journey for me. Pretty rewarding because, as I said, it's good to be a part of this fantastic group and to know how far we've come together. Personally, I feel very indebted to the group and to GraceKennedy, especially because I would have been given the opportunity for tertiary education via GraceKennedy, and then opportunity for career development and advancement. And so it's definitely one of the things that I treasure and I feel extremely blessed about. And equally, whilst along that career journey, I would have also been blessed to have strong mentors as well, in the form of Courtney Campbell, who was the divisional CEO at the time. Frank James was also a mentor of mine. And these are persons who I've also built long-standing relationships with, and persons who continue to assist me. And for that reason, I believe very strongly in mentorship. And that's one of the things that I also pour back out into others, because I do believe that it's very important to, as I call it, send the elevator back down. And so I've been a beneficiary of strong mentorship relationships. And so as a result, I make myself available to do the same for other persons seeking guidance and just general career development. As a former GraceKennedy scholar, I was always looking for ways in which I could give back to this institution, this organization that would have helped me so much. So when I got the call, it was back in 2017, to serve as a director for the GraceKennedy Foundation, I was very, very, very happy, because it meant that I would be able to contribute in a meaningful way to the lives of many persons in the same way that this foundation would have benefited me. And so I take that role very seriously. It's something that I do with a lot of pride, because I do believe that it is extremely important work, ensuring that as a foundation, one, we are touching the lives of the many Jamaicans who are in need in so many different ways, be it from those impacted from the need for education and further education, nutrition and persons needing support where that is concerned, and just the general environment and how we ensure that we preserve and protect the environment for those that will come after us, right? And that we are leaving a place that people can live comfortably. And so my role in the foundation as a director is one of those things that I'm really excited about. I also chair the finance committee for the foundation, and I guess maybe as I went to study accounting, so even though I did HR and international business, I do find myself very comfortable with figures, and so I am now chairing the finance committee for the foundation. But being able to give back in this way, being able to participate, in the ocean cleanups that we have on an ongoing basis and the harbor cleanup, it really has a very long-lasting impact on how you live and the choices that you make. And I definitely would encourage everybody or anybody to, well, for starters, get involved with the ocean cleanup, because you realize the extent to which the challenge that we have with, just solid waste and the garbage in our harbor, and just generally our shores. And for Jamaica, it's one of our most beautiful natural resources in our shoreline. And so how do we help to protect and preserve this? And the work that the foundation is doing with the cleanup of the Kingston Harbour and just cleaning it, keeping our coastlines clean, and the mangroves, so many different things that are having such a long-lasting impact. And the beauty about it is, I guess, as a foundation, there's a great degree of humility, because the foundation does the work and there's not a lot of fanfare about it. It's really just ensuring that we're making a difference and we're impacting the lives of many, which I also find very inspiring. So what would be my challenge to, existing or upcoming scholars? Well, firstly, this is your opportunity, right? This is your opportunity to make a difference for your life. And for some, it's your opportunity to make a difference for your family and for generations to come, right? And so education definitely is a game changer. Education changes the outlook for multiple generations to come. And for you, this is your time to grasp this opportunity and make the best of it. And so when you go to university and you're applying yourself, ensure that you apply that knowledge, right? Everybody can go and SWOT and study a book, but not everybody can apply what is learned. And it's in application that you'll be able to stand, head and shoulder above your competitors. And so I encourage you to apply yourself, to take this as your time. When I was going to university, I treated it as work, right? And so irrespective of the fact that I may or may not have had a class or have an empty session, I was working 9 to 5, right? And whenever there was a free session, I was studying under the tree somewhere, because I took it as work. I took it seriously. And for you, that's as a scholar right now, that's the work that you have, right? The work that you have is to get that knowledge and to be great at it. And so my encouragement is to apply yourself, and do what you need to do in order to get the results that you need to get. And at the same time, ensure that you maintain balance. Also, giving back. Find ways to give back to your community via the foundation, via your church, via any other service group. Giving back is also very important, and ensure that you're having a balanced outlook. When it comes to philosophies or life philosophies, one of my mantras is keep moving forward. Keep moving forward is a phrase that I picked up maybe somewhere about almost 2 decades ago. And for me, it was just something that reinforced for me and gave me just that reassurance that I should always continue to put one foot in front of the other. So irrespective of what is happening, irrespective of how life may feel difficult at this point in time, irrespective of how steep the mountain may seem, it is just keep moving forward, taking one step and moving to the next thing, and refusing to stand still in any aspect of life. Refusing to stand still, but to continue to grow, continue to develop, continue to be a better version of yourself. And that is also undergirded by, Jeremiah 29:11, that speaks about, for I know the plans I have for you, declare the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. And so for that reason, I see both kind of work very nicely together. And these are two things that I definitely reflect on and use on an ongoing basis to reinforce, just my strength as I move through. And so as we celebrate 40 years as a foundation, this is a fantastic institution. The foundation, the GraceKennedy Foundation, is changing lives for generations to come. I think what is so impressive to me for the foundation, and I'm not sure how how obvious or evident it is, even to the foundation, is the fact that you're not just changing the lives of these scholars or these people. No, you're changing generations. You're literally resetting generations. And as a result of that, Jamaica as a nation and the world in general will benefit because of the contribution and the work of this foundation. So I believe that as we celebrate 40 years, this is a blessed institution. This is an institution that is doing fantastic work, life-changing work, and I'm so happy to be a beneficiary of such life-changing work, one, and I'm equally or even more happy to be a part of the team of persons who are now supporting and guiding this institution as we move into the next decade, 2, 3, 4, you name it. And so I definitely wish for the foundation continued success and continued meaningful impact in the lives of Jamaicans, far and wide.